Hey, how you doing? Welcome welcome back to Equalized Sound and Auto Repair. This is Chris back with another video today. Today we're working on a 2010 Dodge Nitro. It has the 3.7 liter engine in it, and we have a transmission pan leak. So we're getting ready to drop the pan and let it drain. And let me show you the tools and stuff you're going to need as far as parts numbers and just your basic tools. It's going to be a pretty simple job. The pan is in a very accessible spot, so be able to do the job. Just got to make sure we don't get messy. So these are the tools. Basically all you're going to need is a T25. I do believe it's a T25. It doesn't have to be a 1/4 inch ratchet. It can be a 3/8 ratchet. I have my 3/8 ratchet here and an extension, and this is a 10 millimeter. I recommend that you go with a 6-point because sometimes the bolts and stuff can be a little rusty. I'm not sure if I need to change the pan. It looks okay. I see a little bitty rust spot on it, but anyway, let's get under here and start the process. Let me get these gloves on real quick. But yeah, I kept seeing a spot in the driveway, and it's like, oh man, what's leaking now? Look through this car, and here we go, a little leak. So it's a little warmer now, so gaskets, it didn't fail, and somebody was in there before, it looks like, and they got a little gasket sealant around the edge of it. I think they may have put gasket sealant on it with the actual filter and the pan, and I don't think you're supposed to. So let's remember, we got our door last, and it comes with the gasket as well. That's the parts number there. All right, so we got that. Let's get up under here and start breaking her free. Try this with one hand. We're just gonna start her, let her drain, and let's get up under there. Alrighty. Oh, forgot my headband light. I like to have it on. Let me quick, just cause it's an extra help. Bought it, might as well use it, especially being up under there and being on your back doesn't hurt. There we go. All right, now we got it a little bit of a ways back. Got us a magnet bowl, and we have 13 10 millimeters all the way up here. This is your oil pan right here, and there's a transmission pan right there. So our leak, let's see if I can get this out the way, is over here on this side. So we got dry over here, and we're leaking over here all the way down to here. You can see it drip right there, getting ready to fall, and it did. So all the way over here, touch those bolts, starts to leak. So let's go ahead and start breaking her free. I'm trying to keep the light out of the camera as much as possible. So let's start here. It's pretty loose, and it's always good to go in a hex pattern. Just builds muscle memory to put it back the same way, and just take your time. Make sure you get on the bolts and everything good. This is a 6-point, so I could use a 12 because they're not real tight, but should make it. Let's move this out the way some more. That's a good spot. Just work our way on around. And I recommend you leave one in after you break her free. I'm gonna try to tilt it that way so it doesn't spill all on this side of the exhaust. There's more space on that side. Yeah, 3-inch extension. That one's a little tight. That one broke free pretty good. That one's loose. And this headband light really helps. Yes, it does. I think that's everybody that's loose now. Yep, that one broke free. So I believe that's everybody. Let's double check. Don't hurt. Yep, that's everybody. It's starting to leak over there too. So that's great. We got everything broke free. So let's start taking it out. I'm about to switch to my Milwaukee. Speed up the process a little bit. Everything is nice and loose. So speed up the process a little bit, and I'm gonna have it drain down on that side. I know I might get some on the jack stand, but oh well. And I got a tarp down here, so shouldn't be too messy. Yeah, I think we're gonna be all right. I'll just leave it like that for now. All right, before we do that, let me switch to a 12-point socket since everything's broke free. Pause it, right back. All right, so got our 12-point, so we're gonna drop it that way. So let's just start loosening them on up. Take him all the way out, dump it in the magnet tray, and I'll take a look at those. They should be all the same size. Alright, so you see the process there, starting to drip. So I'm gonna go around this whole pan here, get those down. You guys don't have to stay for that, but I'll be back to show the filter and taking it out and putting it back in. So let me get these out, start the draining process, right back. All right, so figured I'd get back under here and show you guys that I was able to control my drain. So we're draining and didn't spill much from my setup. This is a turkey pan from Walmart. I was looking for something to be able to hold this, and it was pretty cheap, and picked up a couple of these for the shop. So yeah, got 4 screws left at the top. Well, I got my pan loose and I was just slow rolling it. The pan seemed to be in good condition. I might change it and I might not. I was looking at a small rust spot. I was gonna see if it's okay enough, but yeah, let me get those out, pull this down, and I'll be right back again. All right, so we back to get ready to drop down the filter. And this is a T25. Let's get her in there. Take your time. Got one there and one here. Broke it free. There we go. Just take your time. So we got that free. Got this one free. Yes, a little better. So now that we got it free, we can start loosening these down and drop this pan down. I'm gonna hit this with some brake parts cleaner and drop this filter down. Let's drop it down first. See if I can get this out of here. Get these 2 T's out. It should stay up there because of the O-ring. Should still hold it in its place. And this is a messy job, so I'm glad I was able to get everything out without making too much of a mess. Hopefully it doesn't fall. You might need a pick if the O-ring doesn't come out with the filter. Let that drain a little bit. And it feels like she's already loose. And the O-ring is there. So let me let that drain. So we're almost down. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna have to Hopefully I can get it out. I know I'm gonna get a little bit on me, but let's see if I can get it out. One hand while I'm holding it. Now I can switch. Take her all the way out, I do believe. Just like that. And set her in there on the side like that. Oh well, it might fall all the way in, but there it is. I'm not gonna worry about it. I don't wanna lose my screw. And the O-ring did come out. So we're gonna spray this with brake parts cleaner and everything, get it ready, and I'll be back to put the filter in. As soon as I get this hand clean so I can push stop. Alright, let's see. Be back in a minute. Alright, so we're back, getting ready to put the filter in. So what I do is recommend you to put a little oil around the rim of the filter housing right there. And try to do this with one hand. I got my screw over here to do my starter. Hopefully it'll start and hold it for me. There we go. Let's see if that helps. I think I got it. I think I got a few threads. There we go. Let's hold that there for a minute. Grab a T25. Alright, so we got that one in. Let's grab the other one. And put it up in there too. And just take your time. These gloves has been to the ringer. I think we set. If you feel it binding, just back up, because I mean you don't have it on there. Good. It's on there? Yeah, it's on there. See it screwing in. And hand tighten both sides. And you're going to hand tighten it. Well, finger tighten it first. And just take your time. Alright, so we stopped there. Alright, so now let's fix our ratchet. One hand fixed the ratchet, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. This is one of the push and back ratchets, so let's see if I can do that. Matter of fact, let me just set the phone down real quick. So sorry about the video. Grab the phone back. There we go, back at it. Got her set up. Haven't tightened it all the way yet. Just evening them both out. Just enough to tighten it. Don't over tighten it, because you do not want to break this. That should be enough tension on that. So got the filter in, waiting for, well, getting ready to spray this one more time, make sure I don't have no sealing on it. Oh, before I get off of here and start cleaning up the pan, to resume the video, I wanted to show you guys this because it's very important to read. So after I get up, just came across this. Turn this light off the guy's face. Now, very important. Let's get to it. So I got this kit here. I'm gonna go through this just so everybody can see it. And move this a little bit better so it can be a little flatter. Sorry about that, dropping stuff. Okay, just important, please read. So let's just scan this, and I'm gonna show you the spot that really matters. Okay, so while we're looking, come here. Use a small amount of grease on the pan gasket area and position the gasket in place. Do not use adhesive, cement, or sealant on the gasket. So do not put any of that on there. So it has to do a light little bit of oil, so I'm assuming a little bit of transmission fluid just to get it to sit up in there. So finger tighten the bolts, starting in the middle using the cross pattern. Okay, 80 inch-pounds tightening them for as finger tight. After you do that, you got 120 inch-pounds is how it should be tight. So after looking on Google, decided to write it down, equal to 10 foot-pounds. So that's very important. You can verify that on Google as well, but I figured that I show you this to help you out. But this is the whole installation kit here. And once again, this is the parts number. So I'll be back here in a bit, letting this, after I clean up the pan and everything. So be right back. All right, so we back. We're still on the Nitro, doing the pan now. We're getting ready to clean it up. You can see I got gasket sealing all around the edges of this pan. So we're not gonna use anything harsh. Don't want to scrape it up. Decided to keep the old pan because there wasn't anything wrong with it. But they use gasket sealant and they shouldn't have. So I gotta scrape all this gasket sealant off. We got neighbors in the background. They're cutting grass and everything. So I'm gonna get all this gasket off all the way around. Got this as a nylon brush, a little harder than a toothbrush, but I'm trying to get all this off. Hit it with some brake parts cleaner. Get this whole thing completely dry. Sit it down. And it's pretty loose, so I'm not going to use anything to try to scrape it off. Just should be able to come off by running my fingers up and down it like that. So let's do both. And those lips is, I might have to get something else, but we're going to work it off. All right. Alright, so let me continue the process. Spray this out with brake parts cleaner, wipe it out, make sure it's nice and dry, especially up here where your gas is going to come on. And I'll be right back after I clean this. Alright, so we back. We're still on the Nitro. We got the pan all cleaned up and everything. Brake parts cleaner, got it all nice and clean. Notice that they didn't transfer the magnet. Whoever had this before had used gasket sealant, and I guess they didn't transfer the magnet, so I went and picked this one up from Harbor Freight. And since it can't sit in there, I just kind of got it on the back right there. Should be okay right there. And yeah, so we got that in there to catch that stuff. I set it about right there. It's a pretty strong magnet. So we're gonna leave that in there. And it says to put a light amount of grease around there. So let's point that out. So let's use a small amount of grease on the pan gasket area. So you're gonna put it on the pan and place the gasket on top of it. So it doesn't say a specific type of grease, it doesn't say fluid. So I'm just gonna use a little lip of this dielectric grease because it is grease. So that should be okay and sufficient for it. So I already verified that that's the correct gasket. So I'm just gonna go around here. That's probably enough. I'm just gonna keep smoothing it around. Might need just a little more, but that's what it says to do. We're gonna follow the instructions so we don't have any problems. Just a small amount all the way around the base, around like that. So I do believe that should be a small amount, just to touch the surface a little bit. Right. And we're on the tripod right now, so after I do this, put this gasket in place, and after I put the gasket in its place, I'm gonna climb up under here. Just about done. That should be enough to get this corner too, let's see. Maybe a dab. that should be enough right there. So let's put the cap back on this guy. Let's get this spread out, and about to pause the video for a moment because I need to clean my bolts with brake parts cleaner, and then we're going to mount this up under there. So, but yeah, this is not going to sit like that, so we're not going to worry about that for now. Once I get it up in there, I'll get one bolt in around, get it in there, and then start tightening it up. So yeah, let me go ahead and take off my clean gloves, get ready to put my dirty gloves back on, and go ahead and proceed to the next step. So got those, got it greased and lubed, and all we got to do is clean the bolts and get her in there. So be right back. All right, so we back up under here. I'm gonna hit it one more time with some brake parts cleaner, then I'm gonna wipe around everything and clean it up. That should be enough because I already hit it a few extra times, so let's move that out the way. All right, got our rag. Let's start from the inside. And I'm just gonna go one continuous wipe, flip my rag. Same thing on that side. And I think I'm gonna hit it. Let's get all that off of there too. They really did a job with this gasket sealant. Just want to make sure I get all that up out of there. Let's get back in there some more, some around in there. Yep. Let's see. Okay, it looks pretty good back there on the surface. And I'm going to re-wipe this again. There's some right there, it looks like. Get all that off. Okay. Okay, it looks clean. Because the pan only seals on the around the rim, so everything else looks good. Let me just dry some of this up inside here, and I'm gonna hit it with a quick wipe on the outside with a new rag and some brake parts cleaner. And then I'm gonna come back and set my pan. I'll probably have to do that without the camera. So I'm gonna set the pan, get a couple of bolts in it, and go from here. So be right back. All right, so I decided not to go with that block magnet. So I took some small magnets. I took 4 small disc magnets and put them in the circle. That should do the job, because the other one wasn't replaced, well, transferred when they did this before I got this vehicle. So getting ready to put this up in here. So let me get a few bolts in and I'll be right back. All right, so we got the pan up in there, hand tight. All the bolts are hand tight. Got my torque wrench here set for 10 foot-pounds. So I can't hold the phone and do this at the same time. And I'm getting ready to do that. And then I'll go up top and we'll start filling her up. So let me go ahead and do that. I always do it in the cross pattern until you finish, and then check everything, make sure it's tight. But that is up in there now, and I'm happy. Hopefully that doesn't leak. So let's tighten her down to the 10 foot-pounds. Be right back. Okay, we got everything in there. Got everything torqued down to 10 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna clean this area up with brake parts cleaner, just to make sure we all good. No oil and stuff, so we can make sure we don't have any leaks. And I'll look for those over the next few days. But yeah, 10 foot-pounds is what it called for. So let me get out from up under here and we're gonna go up to the top and get ready to fill her up. We back up top on the Nitro, got the oil pan in, transmission oil pan. So we got that in already, so we back. I'm not gonna do the whole video on filling it up and everything, but this is where you put in your transmission fluid, and it says dealer only on there. so they don't want you to mess with it. But yeah, so that's where you put in your transmission fluid. This is just a little plug. It's been in there, I haven't never moved it. Let's give it a wiggle or two and pull it up. And it's got a little twist on it, so you twist and pull it up. So let me put that back in for now. And this vehicle, the Dodge Nitro, calls for the ATF4 automatic transmission fluid, and it says 4 quarts or 3.7, yeah, 3.75 liters. So this should be enough to top it off, fill up everything, and that's pretty much how you do the job. So yeah, this is Chris, Equalize Sound and Auto Repair, 2010 Dodge Nitro, transmission, oil pan gasket replacement, and fill up. So hopefully you liked the video and you made it through. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you on the next video. But I hope not, because it's a repair, but hopefully, if not, see you on the next video if you need me. I'm out.